right, welcome everybody to the Influence Tribe show. Tonight, my name is Scott Lindstrom, and we have another awesome episode for you. Our guest tonight is a true rock star in his own right. Now, if you happen to be watching this on the influencetribe.com, we want to welcome you, and we also want to welcome all of our viewers that happen to be listening on the podcast tonight. So be sure to head on over to iTunes, like, subscribe, and be sure to give us a 5-star review. So before we get started, I just got to know, Steve, are you ready to become a massive influencer tonight?
Absolutely, man. Let's go get it.
All right. So our guest, Steve Krivda, was born in Pennsville, New Jersey. He's devoted to his faith and his 2 boys and celebrating 13 years of marriage, living in sunny Naples, Florida. He has a background working in the construction industry when in 2006, he stumbled across network marketing and found MLSP in 2012. Since then, he's climbed the ranks and is currently on the leaderboards when he's attained the rank of L5. Now, in addition to being an executive mastermind team, he's also a certified John Maxwell coach, and he continues to inspire and help others today experience and achieve their dreams. So he's also been a speaker at mainstream marketing events and appearance on multiple podcasts, and even he interviewed Mike Dillard himself. So when I asked him his current method of getting leads online, his response was everywhere. So all social media platforms, which is not a bad problem considering he's putting anywhere between 1 and 5 people per day in his business. But now he lives life on his own terms, making multiple 6 figures a year. And here's this, I want to just share this personally. Steve is someone that I personally look up to as a mentor, and has about the biggest heart out there that I've ever seen, and he wears it proudly on his sleeve. So before we kick this show off and bring him out, I want to turn this briefly over to my partner, Miguel Fuentes, who's going to tell everyone what the Influence Tribe is and how you can be a part of this awesome community. Take it away, Miguel.
Good evening, folks. This is Miguel Fuentes coming to you. Scott, thank you so much for the introduction. I'm so super happy. I'm very pumped to be here tonight. Lots of energy. I'm very, very happy to be spending some time with Mr. Steve Krivda this evening. He was one of the very first people I ever met at an event period in my career, just so you know. And over the time, I've gotten to know him. I've watched him go through the ranks. I've watched him hit all of these massive accomplishments. And the whole time he's always remained very authentic, very humble, and willing to talk and help out as much as he can. I know for a fact personally. So I'm super happy to be giving him the stage this evening. And I just want to remind everybody who is watching this right now, if you're watching this on influencetribe.com, when you are ready to start getting some massive results in your business and you're ready to take it to the next level, and hey, let's go, let's lock arms, let's run together, let's work together. There's a big yellow button on this website off to the side. It says yes. It says, yes, I am ready to get results. I am ready to go to the next level in my business. I'm ready to work with someone who can help me and show me the right path. So when you're ready to do that, make sure you grab that button off to the side. But Steve, come out, please. For those folks who are not familiar with you, please come out and share your story, how you got to where you are today.
Oh my gosh, how much time do we have? I'm just kidding. No,
the abridged version.
Yes, the brief one. So now, first I want to say how grateful I am for you guys having me out here. This has been, you asked me like a month and a half ago, and it's been so crazy with our schedules that I'm excited to be here. I mean, this is going to be fun. You guys are awesome. What you're doing here is really, really, really cool. You're making an impact on people's lives, and it's just awesome to see. So. Yeah, just kudos to you guys, man. This is really, really cool.
Thank you.
So, oh man, so I back in 2006. Just kidding.
It was a sunny day in Naples, Florida.
That's every day. So, no, I came into the industry back in 2006, and just because my buddies were doing it, I was one of those guys, and my wife and I had been married, and we're just looking for people to hang out with, and they seemed like fun. And I kind of knew a little bit about network marketing and knew the business model some. Then I got into it and realized, man, this is amazing. And I kind of dabbled a little bit, made a little bit of money here and there, and kind of got a little bit burnt by some of the people that I was working with. We had a little bit of an issue. I wasn't kind of jiving with their integrity. So I kind of walked away for a while. I bounced around to, I say 12, but I think that's on the low end, different companies. I was all over the place. I was looking for something just kind of that was with me, with what I wanted to see in my life and what I wanted to see with our family and what I wanted to see grow. And then I ended up finding a company in 2010 with some really good people. But we all had the same beliefs. We believed in value and people and leading with product, and the business will take care of itself. And we started building a little bit, just a little bit. And after a while, I realized that this belly-to-belly stuff takes a whole heck of it sure does take a lot of time. It works. I'm not against it. I think everybody should start there. However, it's work. It does take work. It's a lot of footwork. And I was let's see, 2010. Yeah, we just had Tyler. So now we have 2 boys, and I'm like, you know what? My boys needed me here more than running all over town. So I started looking online, and finally I came across My Elite System Pro and started learning the ropes.
Awesome.
So,
thank you. Oh, go ahead.
No, that's all right. Here's a funny thing about this. 2008, just like everybody else in the country and probably some of the people in the world, we took a beating because of the economy, with the way the economy dipped the way it was. And it was 2010, probably closer to 11 and 12, is when it finally caught up with I worked for my father-in-law, Kendall, in concrete and masonry. And I was doing all the contract negotiations and all that fun stuff. And work stopped. Like, it just, all of a sudden we were cooking along, and then that was it. It was over. And so I'm like, holy crap, I've got a wife, 2 kids, house, all this stuff. So I went straight panic mode. I'm like, oh, hold on a minute here. I'm like, I'm making a little bit of money here in this network marketing thing. So I decided, you know what, it's time to make a run at this and really make this real. So that was about it. I kind of had my back against the wall. The bank had our house at the time, and it was time to do something. So I had to make a decision. And one of the things that I tell people, I'm like, don't wait until your back is against the wall, because that's too scary. Just do it now. So when you feel like your back could have been against the wall, you just go, yep. And this is exactly why I did what I did.
That's awesome. I can absolutely appreciate that. Like, that also was one of my reasons why I came onto the internet, was being around town. Like, holy cow, it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. You're away from your family constantly all the time. Yeah. So I totally can appreciate that. Talk to me about your brand, The Authentic Marketer. I've been hearing this recently, and I've been checking out your blog, which is gorgeous, by the way, folks. If you haven't gone over there to check it out, make sure you do that. Tell us where that comes from, The Authentic Marketer.
It's funny. That's brand new in the last 6 months. So I've been looking for something that would describe who I am, and it went from, because if you're listening to this and you know me, don't laugh out loud, at least. I was branding myself as the hottest and latest strategic marketer on the planet. And I sat back one day and going, that's not even anywhere near me. I am not technical. I mean, these guys will vouch for me. I'm trying to figure out where to put my mic so there's no feedback. That's why I end up putting headphones in. So I started dabbling with different taglines. I think one of them was, because you're worth it and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't do it either. And I ended up going to Landmark Forum. If you guys haven't heard of that, you can Google it and check it out later. I won't talk about it now. And, their big thing is integrity and authenticity. And I don't care. I would rather lose a sale by telling somebody the truth than gain them on with any kind of leading on or anything like that. And, somebody said, somebody kept telling me, you're the most authentic person I know. I'm just like, man, it's only because, and I'm kind of going to put this out there a little bit. For a long time in my life, I was a really good liar. I was not always the nicest person, and I got why I didn't have a whole lot of friends. And, And so I don't mind saying that because, I think it's good for people that say, well, I'm not a good person. That'll never work for me. Man, y'all didn't know who I was. I was not a good person. So when I realized how much damage I was doing to the people around me and myself with being not so honest, I just one day just made the change. I saw it was like an earthquake had hit my life. And so I was like, you know what? I think the authentic marketer. And I said it out loud one day. I went, oh, that actually works. So I kind of just put it in and I didn't think about it again. It was actually finale. I sent him an email one day and he wrote back. He's like, dude, where did this come from? I'm like, I don't really know. And he's like, he goes, it's you. So I just left it.
That's awesome. I love that answer. I love, Steve, the wake-up calls that you do are phenomenal. And there's this one point I want to ask about that. What I'm referring to, folks, if you're not familiar, My Late Sister Pro has a morning wake-up call at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. If you ever, and Steve is a regular, he comes out regularly to share with the audience there. It pulls about 200-300 people a day. So it's very powerful. And Steve has a way of telling these stories on these calls, and it's prolific. It's you just wait. You hear it's a Steve Krivda call, and you got to get on like right now. So my question to you, Steve, is where does that come from? Where's the source of that being able to tell a good story, like even in your marketing period, like in general?
My dad is probably one of the best storytellers I have ever heard. And I didn't realize that how much we learn through osmosis. And his stories, I used to listen to his stories and be like, man, this is really, really long. But when I look back, because I was a kid and I didn't know any better. But now when I look back, I'm like, man, he was really good at what he did. And he was just good what he did. He was a car salesman almost his entire life. So he was good at speaking with people. And the stories, if I don't see it happening in front of me to describe, I don't tell it. So I have to see it. If I don't see it unfolding, I will make it to the point where, in fact, if you ever hear me pause, it's because I lost my train of thought for a second and I have to visualize everything. I have to see it happening. And if it doesn't touch me in my heart, then I won't tell it.
Awesome. What's a good tip for someone to learn this skill, or is it just get on more calls and listen closer?
No, actually, where I started learning how to do it was I was correlating a lot of my life to struggles, up and down struggles, and I find I don't look for it I used to look for it, but now I don't look for it on purpose. It kind of just I see it now. I see different things that inspire me, like. I did a story. It was like a year. Was it the third? It was almost a year ago today. I did a story of my youngest son, Tyler, and how he was struggling riding his bike one day and how he made it home and how he was like you could see like he was just done and you could see in the victory in his face. And I was like, man, that was so like people need to hear about this. So so I started off telling just about every single story is a real life story. So I think about stories in my life and I just tell them, and I tell them from my point of view and I tell them how they feel real to me. So anybody that would want to know how to tell stories, just think of something in your life that correlates with what you're talking about on the subject and just let it come out naturally. Like I think a lot of us, we force things and it's where it comes out weird.
I can appreciate that. For sure. Along that same lines, I know you're very well known for being a prospecting coach and teacher. Particularly cool. is rapport. Like I think we both understand. We know that if you don't build rapport, you got nothing. You got absolutely nothing. You will get nowhere. People won't like you. They won't buy from you. Right. The internet the internet puts an additional barrier between people because you can't see them, you can't talk to them, you can't, it's kind of awkward if you call someone you just met, like if you just Facebook message call them, it's a little weird. But yeah. What are some of your prospecting rapport building tips that you might have for us this evening?
Sure. So it feels like it comes off natural to me, but it's something I worked on. It's only because I worked on it so long. I made so many mistakes trying to model so many people. And what I found out was that if I just be me on the phone, then either they like me or they don't. And that's I kind of stopped trying to make them like me. But one of the biggest things about my massive, like, how can I put this? I was gonna say, how can I put it nicely about myself? But I'm just gonna be blunt. I was a very ego-driven person. I'm very prideful. Everything was always about. If it wasn't about me, I just wouldn't do it. Like, man, I wish like one of these days you're gonna meet one of my friends and they're gonna be like, who is this Steve dude that you guys know is like not even the same person. I just was I made everything about me. So what I do now, as soon as I get on the phone. So let's see, it was yesterday was the first time that the person didn't know who I was. It had been a while because the lead had been sitting there for a long time. And I said, hey, it's Steve Krivda. I said, how are you? And she's like, I'm good. I said, yeah. So we met. I said, apparently we're connected on this platform. And I said, you picked up one of my PDFs. She's like, okay. And I'm like, man, this is really awkward. Are you a marketer? And I kind of just made a joke out of it. And she's like, I am. And I'm like, are you on this platform? She's like, yes. And I go, okay. Well, is there anything I can help you with? Because that's kind of what I do. And she's like, well, I'm like, I go, look, I said, I don't want to make this weird. I said, it's cool. I said, if you're doing awesome in what you're doing, I said, man, I don't want to interrupt your flow. It's cool. And as soon as I said that, I knew if I kept talking long enough, I would just break it down, because I've heard some of my marketing buddies, and you can hear the sale as soon as you say hello. It's like, hi, my name is Steve Krivda. How are you? And it's like, it's so odd when you hear it. And like, I want them to feel like they're my friend in the first 30 seconds. That's my main thing, is to make them feel comfortable, because honestly, I don't know what's going to happen on the call. So here's a good example. This guy, his name's Alex Copeland, and he reached out to me and we started talking, and he was really uncomfortable on the phone. And I was like, dude, I'm just some dude. I'm like, stop. This is weird. You're making me uncomfortable. And so we started talking, and honestly, I was like, man, I think he's going to buy something from me. So I kind of got a little excited. And but I was like, no, calm down. I'm like, just see what he needs. So we ended up talking for about a half hour, and he's like, and nothing happened. Nothing happened out of it. I just, he asked me for advice. I gave it to him. And I said, look, if you're going to run with this, just get back with me. And he did. He created this whole funnel on a product. He told me tonight. He's like, I made this whole thing. He's like, you got to take a look at it. And I was like, man, I said, you know how you can pay me back? He's like, how? And I said, just put something nice on my Facebook wall. And that was my payment, to just do that. Because if we go into every call with a sale in mind, it makes it so weird, because we push for the sale. But if we go into the call with just, man, if I could just serve this person somehow, something good will come out of it for one of us. So and if I just let it go at that, then it kind of just takes care of itself.
That's awesome. I love that. And I guess that leads me right into my next question. At what point does caring, I mean, we can't go around giving away hour consultation calls every day, like that's not something reserved for, random people. At what point does care become like a cost to you? Like when you care about somebody so much, or you care about their success so much, and it just is costing you more than you are receiving. And I'm not to say that that's our end goal, is to receive something, but when does it start to go down that path?
Well, yeah, you got to pay the bills. I mean, it's cool. If I was a philanthropist, that would be amazing. If I was a bazillionaire, I'd be giving everything to everybody. I wouldn't care. But that's not the way life is right now.
Right.
So no, here's kind of where I am when I go into the calls. It's strictly how can I serve them? So what I mean by that is this. I want to talk to them about my primary, but I listen very close to their wording and how they are, and I'm not just listening to their words, but how they're speaking with me. If they say, oh man, I love the company I'm with, I'm like, cool. my primary is off the list. Crap. So then it's like, all right, so how else can I help them? But if they're like, I like my company. All right, so now I know there's an issue. So it's either they don't know how to run it, or maybe they've lost passion in the product. And then I'll just talk to them about passion. I'm like, where's your passion? Do you really love your product? And they say, well, I'm like, all right, you don't have to go any further. I'm like, then I tell a story about, where I was in the past with my products in different companies. And I talk to them about the passion that I have now. And they're like, wow, that'd be great. I'm like, cool. You want to take a look at what I'm doing? Because I know I can help you. I just need to start checking off things on my list here. So that's where I go down that road. Now, obviously, MLSP is number 2, because there's 2 different ways to make money. MLSP is, it's not, here's my disclaimer, it is not a money-making product. However, you can still make money with the affiliate products. There's my disclaimer. But it's quicker on the front end. My MLM, and as you guys know, it's a longer-term residual income that will continue to grow without you. So I kind of go down that road. And then, but I honestly, I listen very closely on how I can serve them. Is it my MLM? Is it MLSP? Or is it my personal coaching? I want to know which one can I help them with, because you hit it right on the head that you can't continue to give away, because 2 things happen. 1, you'll kill yourself. You won't have any time to even think straight. And 2, people don't take free advice seriously.
Wow, that's powerful. That has a lot of value, that statement right there.
Cool. And they listen, but they don't. The kid, Alex, he's like 21 years old. And he's probably the first one that I actually had one of those longer conversations with. And I knew he was going to run with it as soon as we started talking, though. But most people, man, they just don't. Now, if there's skin in the game, you buy, 4 or 5 figure coaching, or you put yourself into $150 a month, or you're neck deep into an MLM and you're going to events, you've got skin in the game. Now you're invested. It's not just a phone call going, all right, well, that was pretty cool, man. What a nice guy that guy Steve is, man. You could spend all this time with me. And then all of a sudden you see them and then they call you back. Hey, what was that conversation we had again? It's like, I don't even remember. I'm busy. I'm sorry, man. I love you, man. Big hearts for you, but this is not going to work. So yeah, I'm always selling, but I don't sell in the typical terms of selling. I sell as in serving.
Awesome. Very, very cool. At what point in the conversation do you move into the sale?
It depends.
It just depends?
Yeah, it depends. Did I stop you mid question?
No, not at all. That was the question. I was just,
okay, cool.
A lot of people lose clarity on that point when you're dealing with people on the internet. It's like nobody really knows when to ask for the sale, or just like.
Yes. Totally. No, I get that too, because that was me for a long time. I'm like, crap, I hang up. I'm like, I didn't even ask. I suck at this. No, it kind of depends. Sometimes it's in the first couple of minutes, if they're like, I just need help. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, all right, so what are you doing now? And they tell me, and I'm like, man, I totally can help you. Let's move down this road. I'm like, let's get you on a presentation of some sort. Sometimes it's, geez, I'm not a good gauge of time. Sometimes if I have a schedule in my day, I am, but if I don't, man, I've all of a sudden going, oh my gosh, I've been on the phone for an hour. I got to get off the phone. I'm like, dude, goodness gracious, but I listen very carefully. If they're like, if I'm going, all right, so here's my checklist. I want to know if they have passion in their product, and I just listen. So if you and I are talking, first thing I would say is, man, I see that your area code is, 305. Where is that? I don't even know where I'm calling. And you would probably, because 305 is Miami, you'd be like, oh, I'm from Miami. I'm like, get out of town, man. I'm from Naples. We're like right across the alley from each other. That's awesome. And I'd probably do another 10, maybe one more question of icebreaker, because I want them to feel comfortable with me. And I'll say, oh man, you know what? We kind of just completely got off track here. I'm curious, what was it that had you do this, or what is it that has you in marketing? What are you doing for yourself? And I want to know a little bit deeper on why they're doing what they're doing. And if I hear something like, I just lost my job, or I'm working a job and I'm not seeing my family enough, or I'm working like 1,000,000 hours a week and I never see my family, whatever it is, I'm like, oh, it's awesome. So what are you doing about it? And you know, depending on the person, the sharper I am with them. And meaning I'm very direct, because here's I believe in our society that we have become very soft with each other. You know, and I'll straight up ask, when if somebody tells me I don't have the money, I'm like, man, really? Like, I don't mean to be rude here, but how long are you going to let, you know, $300 or $150 stop you from your dreams? I'm like, how long is that going to be an issue for you? And they're like, well, I don't really know. And then I'll tell them, like, $150 shouldn't break the bank. Like, if that's breaking the bank, man, that's a real issue that we need to fix. We need to fix that now. So the sale, my close starts from the time they say hello, and I listen to them, you know, and I wait for it. Not like a tiger wait for it. Like, I don't want you to think I'm like, you know, waiting for them to turn their back on me so I can bite on the neck. Like, but I'm listening for them to tell me when, you know. A lot of us here's all right. So this will probably answer the question shorter than this long drawn out answer I'm giving you. So most people will think that they have to go through this long, I have to be their best friend before they ask them. That's not the case at all. All marketers need help, all of us. I have a coach. I just hired one 2 weeks ago because I want to take it to the next level. Everybody needs help. I don't care who you are. Even you look at Higdon. Geez, he spent like $250,000 or $300,000 in training already this year. We're March 3rd, for crying out loud, because he's constantly investing in himself. So everybody needs help. It's depending on, are you going to be the person that helps them, or is it going to be somebody else that takes the money? So you think when you go into the conversation, you're thinking, all right, this person needs help. How am I going to help them? Cool. So tell me about your business and tell me what you're struggling with. And if you hear, well, I'm struggling generating leads, I don't know how to talk to my friends, I don't know how to do this, this, and this. If you're in your mind, you know you can help them. You say, you know what, man, I totally can help you with that. You know, are you open for taking some advice? And if they say yes, say awesome. Listen, this is what I did. Attraction marketing, this, CRM, funnelizer, blogging, prospecting, whatever. You know, are you open to see a presentation real quick? I can show you exactly what I'm doing, how I did it, and how I'm creating what I created.
Awesome.
Cool.
Cool. Scott, I believe Scott definitely has some questions that he wants to ask for sure. Thank you for the answers. Very insightful. Appreciate it.
Cool. Thanks, Miguel. You're awesome, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, these are just really short answered questions. You know, they don't need to be long drawn out ones. So here we go. What would you say is your proudest moment in network marketing or your business to date so far?
Man, it's a combination of two. Can I give you two? They'll both be short, I promise.
Sure. Go ahead.
The day that I walked, the day, it was February 28th is when it was my first day as a full-time entrepreneur of 2015. That was a big one. And then I've been invited to speak at different things, but about a month and a half ago, Ray Higdon called me up and asked me to MC his event. And that was a big one because I know he's a maniac when it comes to importance. And for him to ask me, that was huge because him and I have been best friends for a long time, but I really look up to him.
Right on. Give us one or two of your favorite quotes, please.
Oh my gosh, that's on the spot. You know what? It's kind of funny. I get asked this often, and I really don't have a lot of them. I don't. When I see them, I'm like, oh, that's really good, and I'll probably copy it and paste it. You know, one of the ones that stands out the most is the man. I know I'm going to misquote it, and of course it's Ray. Daggone it. It is the ability to say "woe is me" is due to inactivity. So, in other words, if I'm sitting around poo-pooing on myself, it's probably because I'm not doing anything. But as far as quotes go, I really, honestly, I don't have them. You know, a lot of them, they pop in my head. And even the ones that come up, I typically write them down, and that's about it. And I forget all about them. Now, you have to excuse me for that one.
Oh, it's good.
There is one that Jim Rohn said, and I don't remember the whole thing. But it is, I'm going to get crucified by your audience for this right now. It was, I can't remember. It's if you want to make more money, serve more people. I can't remember how the quote goes. One of you guys will send me some hate mail, I'm sure. But yeah, like as far as quotes go, I really don't have quotes. I don't pay attention to them.
All right.
It's kind of weird, right? But I just don't.
I'm definitely surprised by that for sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Give us one habit that has helped you become successful in your business.
Waking up early. Yep. It's I used to sleep in as long as I possibly can, and I wake up at 5 a.m. and well, actually no, it's not the waking up. It's having the time to meditate on my vision and have prayer time.
Yeah, the miracle morning comes to mind when you say that.
Yeah.
What is one of the best pieces of advice that you've ever received as it relates to your business?
Whew. Stop making it about you.
Awesome. Steve, do you have a favorite app or program that you would recommend to our audience, like Evernote, that you would use?
I do a lot of my stuff, and I use the MLSP CRM, but I use Google, the Google Calendar. It's something, I have the app on my phone, and I keep it on my computer, and it keeps me straight.
Right on. So before I go into the last question, I just want to turn it back over to Miguel and see if he has any final thoughts or questions he wants to go ahead and ask.
Sure.
Oh my gosh, I have all kinds of stuff. Of course, I get anything now. I'll just remind everybody, if you're watching this on the influencetribe.com, make sure that you look over to the side of the page. There is a big yellow button that says, yes, I'm ready to get results. Click that button, fill out the form, take a test drive, get behind the scenes, and discover the system that Steven is using, that I'm using, that Scott's using to create success in our businesses. It will absolutely cut down the learning curve of you having to learn all of internet marketing on your own. So when you're ready to do that, make sure you click that button. Go ahead and get started. I know Scott has one more big question, and then we're close here. Scott, go ahead.
Steve, this is the $1 million question. Are you ready for this?
Sure. Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. Here we go. You've lost all your income, but you have all the knowledge that you currently possessed. If you had to start all over again, what would you do in your business to start getting immediate results?
How long do I have? Not in time to respond, but to create the results that I want.
As
unlimited?
Yeah.
I actually have a 28-day plan, and it's quite simple. It is start doing Facebook Lives immediately, 7 in a row, push into a webinar on the 7th day, do it again on the 7th day. So you're 14 days in, and on the second, because your first 7 days, you are building rapport with your, probably new audience. So your webinar is just, hey, keep an eye out for my lives. Watch out for my next webinar. It's going to be in exactly 7 days. On the 14th day, you say, look, if you guys want to reach out to me and work with me, and what I would do is what I've done is you create a survey, and you funnel people to the survey. And basically what you're doing is you're having them fill out the survey. So when you call them, everything about them, so you can actually talk to them about coaching or funneling them into some sort of a system. The third 7 days, which is now you're 21 days in, same thing. Facebook Lives every day. If you can do 2 a day, it's better. And then funnel again into a webinar. And now find something to sell and funnel them to your survey. And on the 28th day, you better have something to sell on the 20th. You better have something to sell on the next one. And then and then sell them out. It's 28 days. You can make a huge, if I've told people to do this before, some of them done it, they've run with it and they've hit it heavy, and some of them don't. But that'll grow fast. You'll grow yourself really, really fast.
Steve, you are the only person that's come on here that's actually had a really concise plan like that. So that's awesome. Thanks.
That's my scary plan.
Do you have any this is a 2-part question. Do you have any parting words for our audience of wisdom or advice, and how can they get in connect with you?
Sure. Well, the first thing is, if you're listening to this and you haven't gotten rolling with these guys, with Scott and Miguel, then you need to, because obviously you can tell by these two, they really care about you guys. Otherwise, they wouldn't spend the time, because this value is for you. It's not for these guys. They're doing this for you guys. So definitely connect with these two. That's my biggest piece of value for listening to this right now. Second thing is, man, just one of the biggest things that I did was back in 2014 was create a vision. And it was, the verbiage was different. This is the new verbiage that I use now. It's, I had to choose what my ideal self was going to look like, and every day focus in on that vision of what I want to be. And then when I saw it, felt it, and I lived it in my mind, I just said, all right, cool. Now what do I need to do today to make that happen, and just keep taking the steps. So that's, because everything else is going to take care of itself. Everybody knows how to generate leads. Everybody knows how to blog. Everybody knows how to do all this stuff, but we typically don't know why we sit in front of our computer and scroll through Facebook for 2 hours and go, oh, I forgot to do it. I'll do it tomorrow. And then you get up and go to bed. If you have a clear, concise vision and you are physically and emotionally connected to it, there's nothing that's going to stop you. You'll sit down and be like, man, I only have 2 hours, man, that's rock. And then 4 hours goes by and you're crushing it. So that's, get a clear, concise vision and really focus in on it. And you won't stop. Quitting was not even going to be a thought. But yeah, if they want to get a hold of me, it's really simple. It's just stevekrivda.com.
Awesome.
Yeah, right on.
Folks, you are a product of the 5 closest people that you hang out with. And tonight you've been hanging with Steve Krivda. So I want to thank you all for hanging out with us. Steve, thank you again, sir. And God bless you.
Oh, man, appreciate you. God bless you guys, too. This has been absolutely awesome. And this was fun. I can't believe how fast the time went by. And I'm grateful that you guys have me out. And has been just an honor. Appreciate y'all.
Awesome. Good night, everybody.
Good night.